What if I told you your body isn't trying to sabotage you? It's actually trying to protect you. And what if the exact thing you're blaming for lack of progress is actually a survival system that's been protecting humans for thousands of years? Today, we're talking about cortisol, the hormone everybody loves to blame. And social media has turned into a villain of sorts. And I gotta admit, I've even gone down that rabbit hole. Cortisol level. As we know, cortisol is our fat loss nemesis. But what if we understood cortisol completely? Let's talk about it. Ride with me while we discuss hot topics, share information, and just have fun conversations. Drive and thrive. If you've been on social media for any amount of time, you've probably heard someone say, can't lose weight, cortisol, stressed out, cravings, cortisol, and most importantly, belly fat, cortisol. And while there is some truth to this, the reality is cortisol isn't that bad. As a matter of fact, without cortisol, you die. No drama, just biology. So, what exactly is cortisol? Cortisol is a hormone produced in the adrenal gland. These little glands sit on top of your kidneys and they act as an emergency response team. Think of cortisol as your body's chief survival officer. It helps regulate blood sugar, blood pressure, inflammation, energy production, immune functions, and sleep wake cycles. So every single morning, cortisol helps you wake up, and that's one reason we seem more vibrant in the morning. It's cortisol. So, cortisol isn't the enemy. The problem isn't cortisol. The problem is we live in a world that constantly tells our body it's in danger. Thousands of years ago, stress looked a little different. Might have been a predator, or famine, or your tribe is at war with another tribe. But that stress would pass and your cortisol could go back to normal for months, maybe years at a time. Today, the danger never leaves. It's emails, bills, notifications, arguments, work deadlines, sleep deprivation, traffic, financial stress, family stress, health stress. The body doesn't realize if it's being chased by a tiger or is being chased by a deadline. And nowadays, that chase could go on for months, and the mind doesn't know the difference, and it feels to your body like you're in danger for months on end. And all the body does is respond to that. And this is where things get fascinating. So imagine your body, you're under threat. The smartest thing you can do is store energy, preserve resources, and prepare for hard times. And that's what happens within the body. Your body becomes more interested in conserving energy, increasing your appetite, and encouraging calorie storage, especially around the abdomen. All your body is doing is responding intelligently to the signals we're providing it. So you might be thinking, like, I hear you, but what does the body have against my middle section? Why do I need the come on with the fat around the belly? Come on now. Let's talk about why cortisol is often linked with visceral fat, our belly fat. But why? Because that's where your most important organs in the body are. And the body is preparing for survival. So if you have more fat around those areas, you're less likely, or it's less easy for you to be damaged in those areas. And it's also a good place for your body to store energy. See, all the body is doing is preparing for future challenges. The problem is, in our day and age, those challenges never end. The end of that challenge never comes. So our body is constantly thinking it needs to store away this fat to help us survive. This is where it gets important to me, and why I like to create these kind of films. Because in my lifetime, trying to lose weight, we were always told eat less, move more. And that nutrition and movement is absolutely vital and important to weight loss, but also understanding why we gained the weight. is just as important. Your sleep is just as important. Trying to lessen our stress is just as important. And how we speak to ourselves is equally important. Because if your nervous system is constantly feeling like it's under threat, your body is moving and reacting with a whole different set of priorities than what we're trying to rationalize. Did you know that your brain reacts to self criticism the same as it reacts to external criticism? So think about it when you're subconsciously saying, I'm lazy, I'm never going to lose weight, I always fail. Your body may interpret those thoughts as stress signals. Your self talk might be creating physiological consequences. Now, don't get it wrong. You know, thinking positively does not burn fat or cause you to lose weight better. But what it does mean are your thoughts are not disconnected biologically. Actually, they are deeply connected. And unfortunately, this may be where social media gets it wrong. Some people talk about supplements, magic powders, or plain old quick fixes, but some of the strongest cortisol regulators are incredibly simple. Let's talk about them. Sleep, walking, connection, one of my favorites, journaling, deep breathing, strength training, being out in nature, laughter, and purpose. And notice, none of the things I just mentioned came out of a bottle. If I could leave you with one thing from this video, I want you to please stop thinking you're broken or your body is against you. Because if we think of it as our body has been trying to protect us this whole time, we might see it differently. So maybe the question isn't, why isn't my body cooperating with me? Maybe the better question is, what signals am I sending my body every day? Because remember, your body is always listening, always adapting, and always responding. So, no, cortisol is not evil, it's not the villain, it's actually a messenger. And if we learn to listen to what it's trying to tell us, we may see that the path to health and fitness is not a punishment, it's a partnership. Your body is not your enemy, it's your teammate. All right, guys, do something that makes you proud, do something to lower your stress so your cortisol can be at peace. All right, guys. Love y'all. Peace.